शंकु में भीड़ से अलग ना मेरा बोले खुद मेरी जगह Worlds collide. Going global. Ego champions. This is not just the start of a season. This is where legends ascend. Every map, every round, every game brings truth to the fire we defend. No warm up for second runs, no safety net to fall on. Every mistake punished, every lesson paid with a fall. Pressure doesn't ask permission, it just arrives. And only those who learn to live in it survive. सितारा सा चमकूं मैं अंधेरों में भी अपनी राह लिखती हूँ खुद के लिए सितारा सा चमकूं मैं भीड़ से अलग ना मेरा बोले खुद मेरी जगह मेरी जगह खुद मेरी जगह मेरी जगह ना मेरा बोले खुद मेरी जगह This is VALORANT at its peak. Every call a complex feat. Seconds in, utility spent. One wrong move and you're bent. What looks fearless in the moment was built through every loss and doubt. Calm in chaos, clearing pressure. That's the champion's way played out. This isn't luck, this isn't fate. This is pressure we learn to share. सितारा सा शंकु में अंधेरों में भी खुद के लिए सितारा सा शंकु में भीड़ से अलग ना मेरा बोले खुद मेरी जगह सितारा सा शंकु में अंधेरों में भी खुद के लिए सितारा सा शंकु में भीड़ से अलग ना मेरा बोले खुद मेरी जगह This stage remembers everything, every fall, every rise. You don't play for moments here, you play for legacy. सितारा सा शंकु में हर प्रेशर के बाद जो रुका था कर दरगाश बन गया रास्ता सितारा सा शंकु में भीड़ से अलग ये ग्लोबली स्पोर्ट्स है और हम ठीक के लिए खड़े Champions 2026 Champion fighting Worlds collide. Lights up. This is champions. मेरी जगह This is not the start of a match. This is where the seasons end. Every map, every round before. Let us hear again. No warm-ups, no second runs. No safety left to hold. Every mistake remembered. Every lesson paid in full. Crowd goes quiet, systems hum. All the noise reduced to one. Five stand ready under fire. This is where you earn the crown. You don't carry hope in here. You carry proof you belong. When the margin hits zero, that's where legends come from. Pressure doesn't ask permission, it just arrives. And only those who learn to live in it survive. सितारा सा शंकु में अंधेरों में भी अपनी राह लिखती हूँ खुद के लिए सितारा सा शंकु में भीड़ से अलग ना मेरा बोले खुद मेरी जगह मेरी जगह खुद मेरी जगह मेरी जगह ना मेरा बोले खुद मेरी जगह This is VALORANT at its peak. Every call a calculated risk. Utility sped seconds then. Every move cannot be missed. They see flashes on the stage, but not the years it took to stand. What looks fearless in the moment was built through every loss we had. No rule left for honors wins, no reward for close. You don't survive this arena, you take control of your exposure. Every failure loved and studied, every weakness redesigned. What you face here isn't chaos, it's a system refined. This isn't luck, this isn't fate, this is special learned shape. Calming chaos, clearing doubt, that's what champions are about.
सितारा सा चमको मैं अंधेरों में भी अपनी राह लिखती हूँ खुद के लिए सितारा सा चमको मैं लीड से या लेकिन नाम मेरा बोले खुद में ही जगह खुद में ही जगह
Crowd aligned. This stage remembers everything, every fall, every rise. Those who broke and rebuilt themselves are the ones who survive. You don't play for moments here, you play for legacy. What you do in these next rounds writes eternity. No excuses left to hide, no more time to wait. This is where the strongest minds separate for prey. When the fire around is calm and the world holds its breath, only those who ask that pressure have anything left. And the pressure के बाद आज बन गया रास्ता. सितारों से चमको मैं वीर से लगे खबर स्पोर्ट्स है और हम जीत के लिए खड़े. Champions 2026 G fighting below.
What's up? Okay, just checking. बहुत ज़्यादा क्लोजअप हो गया, एक सेकेंड. इससे ज़्यादा होता ही नहीं है कैमरा. डैम. Just check करा था. Just checking which mic is working. What's up, guys? What is up, and welcome to another day of GE against the world. Where ज़्यादा कुछ नहीं है. Our task is not that big. Today we just need to beat what I consider and what most people consider the best team in the world. ज़्यादा कुछ नहीं है. इतनी बड़ी बात नहीं है. And then next week, Nongshim. So the team that just won Masters, like, that's all. Like, imagine, to make it to playoffs, we have to beat Paper X and Nongshim, or either or. But yeah, like, that is our criteria to qualify for playoffs. How much fun is that? Imagine, like, जो teams ग्रैंड फाइनल्स अभी खेल के आए हैं मास्टर्स के, दैट इज अ क्राइटेरिया टू क्वालिफाई. सी, लाइक, जी ऑलवेज टेक्स द मोस्ट डिफिकल्ट पाथ आउट देयर. व्हाट्स अप अनुराग तिवारी, थैंक यू सो मच फॉर बिकमिंग अ मेंबर. 17 months, dude. थैंक यू सो मच एंड मच लव. थैंक यू. जी मैच इज आफ्टर दिस. अभी हमारी ओके, सो राइट नाउ इज द RRQ वर्सेस फुल सेंस मैच. एक सेकंड, लेट मी जस्ट टर्न इट ऑन. किधर गया? There we go.
Potentially bite me, but
You have Leviathan.
yes, I went with Leviathan. I also didn't. I think the only one who didn't.
Okay. Ta-da-da. Okay, हाँ ठीक है. Now I have it running in the background. So, also, the reason why I have come live now, I'm going to put the stream live, मैं मैच लगाने वाला हूँ. I actually have to step out for a bit. So, I was thinking, मैं सोच रहा था, अभी डिसाइड नहीं हुआ है. अभी आप लोग चैट में +1, +2, whatever, option 1, option 2 चूज कर सकते हो. Option 1, I just put an AFK screen. मैं अपना जो नॉट सो सुपर सीक्रेट काम खत्म करके वापस आ जाऊं. ऑप्शन टू स्ट्रीम बैकग्राउंड में चले, बट मेरा कैमरा, आई वॉज थिंकिंग ऑफ गोइंग लाइव फ्रॉम माई फोन एंड टेकिंग इट विद मी, तो बाय साइड IRL भी हो जाता. अभी मेरा नेटवर्क का प्रॉब्लम होने वाला है, माइक का इशू होने वाला है, बहुत सारे और इश्यूज होने वाले हैं, बट I was thinking option 2 would be fun. ऐसा मैंने सोचा कि अगर वो एक सेकेंड ये वाले स्क्रीन पे, हाँ यहाँ जो है ना, ये वाले स्क्रीन पे सोचो, if I just go live from my phone and then I switch to this and then वो साथ में चले. देखो, there are also places that I may not be able to put the stream on, but it's better than just putting a blank screen over here, right? वो मैं हटा दूंगा. वो एक सेकेंड में फिक्स कर देता हूँ. Ta-da. And
Beyond Cetric meta, you need him to be having results, to be finding his footing, to be
ठीक है, ऑडियो शुड बी गुड.
from that position, and he's been having a really rough go of it between that.
आज कैमरा चेंज, नोप, वो ही कैमरा है. मैं तो वही हो रहा ना, आज थोड़ा कुछ एक्सपेरिमेंट करने वाला हूँ मैं.
Yeah, I think this is exactly what we were saying. We were expecting a little bit of improvement throughout stage 1.
I'm gonna try something
We were
today.
talking about the waylay nerf, and this
Let's
is a
try
team
new
it will
source.
definitely impact with the given how many times Jemkin likes to play.
Yeah, we know how great of a player Jemkin is. That's not in dispute. But he
आज
has
कुछ
to adjust
नया
into
try
this
कर रहा हूँ मैं.
waylay. I worry now that
Browser
there's a little bit of adjustment. I mean, we've
source.
seen RRQ already trying
New
new things, putting
source.
him on that killjoy of all things, something we really didn't expect. But he managed to play it well. So now the waylay nerf is hitting. I'm curious, does Jemkin want to stick with this waylay, or is he going to go back to his
Let's see if
kind of
this
old stomping
works.
ground, play a lot of that raise, maybe mixing some chamber? I think that's what I'd like to see from him, but I'm very, very curious as to which way it will go.
I think one of the things that I've seen from RRQ a lot
Next
over the
again,
years, I mean,
1920
walk
by
around and whatnot, is that
1080.
sometimes they're very maybe stubborn.
Ek
not to
second,
be
guys,
aggressive,
just
but they're
hold
very
it for a
slow to make
second.
adjustments. They like to lean on comfort.
Yeah.
So if Jemkin still wants to try to commit to this waylay like he was doing before waylay was even considered busted and a big part of the meta.
मैं
where it
सब
wasn't
sort कर
finding
दूंगा.
results,
Just
I'm
give me
gonna have my
one
concerns.
moment.
I think that the chamber makes a ton of sense for him.
Yeah.
We
Yes.
know that he can play a bunch of other agents, but if he's still going to be leaning on waylay, then I'm not sure if we're going to be seeing RRQ make it too far.
Yeah, this is something they definitely have to adjust because they are playing against Full Sense today. Now, Full Sense are definitely in peak form.
Okay.
We've always seen that potential from this team, but at this point, we've seen every single member
second.
of this squad pop off. They look really good right now. That's why Sliggy was mentioning he might even be on the Full Sense.
So,
Yeah, I mean, and I can't blame him because
if
the
y'all
squad
haven't
just
figured
keeps
it out
going from strength to
yet,
strength. Since Cruz joined back as that
Ek
IPL,
second,
they
what I'm
are
gonna
yet to
do-
drop a map. Now, don't get me wrong, they've played all of the Japanese orgs, so maybe that's a little caveat there, but I think that they've looked
Let me
pretty
just see
comfortable
how
in the
this
game.
will
Not
work.
dropping a map does
ये सब
show
मैं
a
live में
certain
figure out
level
कर रहा
of
हूँ,
strength,
guys.
but now is the
Have you
biggest
tried G-Stack? Yes. Oh
Kind of
yeah,
opposite
hell
of
yeah.
RRQ walking
G-Stack
away.
is
We've also
legendary,
been
bro.
playing some of the teams that are at the bottom of the standings at the moment within your group, but it's been a lot more one-sided. for Full Sense.
Gary
A lot
Tan
more
is very smart.
weird.
If you've been using it, tell me if you found all the Easter eggs. I've found almost all of them,
Full
I
Sense
think.
do look like they are at the moment kind of leaps and bounds ahead of RRQ.
Yeah, and it's worth
I
noting,
think
they were
I have
already
found
in
all of
playoffs
them.
today. RRQ need to win
I'm
today
not
and
sure.
move
I
on
think
to
I found all of
playoffs,
them.
But, Full Sense, I think now they're really looking to get that top
So
of the
essentially
group,
what I'm going to do is, if y'all haven't figured it out yet,
Third is also
on this camera, as soon as I have to leave, I'm just going to go live on Twitch.
We missed out on going over to Champions Paris with RRQ beating them back when it was over
Let's test
in
this out.
Tokyo.
Let's test
So
this out.
this is gonna be,
Now, I don't know
a
how
bit of
accurate
revenge
this
there
is.
for Cruz,
This
and,
may be very
well, Garrett just kinda gets to sit back and watch.
silly of me to even think.
Nothing on
Let's
the
see.
line this time.
Yeah.
Oh, they're doing it one more time. And of course, Jovi, who's formerly Cruz's assistant coach, back on talent.
So
is
my
now the coach of
category will be
RRQ, and there's a little bit
IRL.
of, like, friendly rivalry going on today.
Yeah, I mean, there always will be if you're against your former players.
Don't
and I also think it
click
can kind of manifest itself in strange
this,
ways. You know these players pretty intimately. You know what
please.
angles they like. You know the positions that they really enjoy playing. So I wonder how much of that is going to factor into this anti-strat now.
One
Yeah,
second.
I mean, luckily,
Test
was mostly communicating
stream.
in Thai. I don't know how Jovi's Thai is, but I don't think he understood
True.
all of it. So
I'm
maybe
doing a
some
test stream
secrets
just
do
to
remain
legit
with Full
test.
Sense. But it's really hard not to feel
Okay.
very confident for Full Sense.
Let me
And the match today, I think
do
it'll be a very,
this. Okay.
a very different outcome compared to Tokyo Finals. But Bella had a chance to talk to T-Love from Full Sense. Let's see what he had.
एक second, sorry, मैं chat नहीं देख रहा. Let me just test this. I want to know, genuinely see if this works, because this might be very cool if it does. Okay. Welcome to mobile streaming. I got it. 3, 2, 1, go.
Ground where skirmish is held, and I have a very special
And I am now live
regular, I would say. Please welcome T-Love.
on
Hello, T-Love. Good to
Twitch
see you.
from my phone, and for some reason
Yeah. Next slide, yes.
my Twitch stream shows upside down.
The fans are wondering. We see you play skirmish. You're a regular here. Was that your team's, call, or was
Wait.
it your own call?
So my team was scared to 1v1 and they sent me demon of 1v1.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Now
So
this
they're
is,
confident that you can win this.
Yeah.
but like that's damn weird. I don't know why the orientation is that way.
Match is against RQ, as I said. What's on your mind right now? The skirmish
Okay, and
that's
if I
about
turn
to
the
happen,
camera
or
around,
RQ match?
1 second, guys. I'm testing this out in real time. Just give me a second.
Only skirmish. Yeah. All right. Well, any words to your skirmish opponent today?
Now is this upside down or is this proper?
Any words you would like to see to Jovi? Say it right now.
Kulak Ant.
Okay. So it's proper if I use the back camera, but if I use the front camera,
I love the energy there. He
it goes
was
upside down.
For full sense
Okay.
the entire time here. The only coach.
Okay. So my main stream is on YouTube, by the way, guys. I'm just testing out on Twitch.
Don't look at the win rates. Don't do that to my boy. He's coming in confident.
I don't know why it's upside down.
I like it. Well, speaking of disrespect, the thing that I do have to point out is that Jovi asked.
Oh, so the front camera comes upside down. The back camera
decided not to. So
comes fine.
I guess what T-Love said about his
Okay.
player being scared to skirmish.
Okay,
is
good to know.
absolutely
Okay.
correct.
Anyway, Twitch, thank you for the test. I'll be back. I just wanted to check it out.
I'm pretty sure he can. Or maybe it's the other way around. Cruz is like, no, I'm a player. I
Okay.
don't do these coach terms.
So I just wanted to test the Twitch stream.
You gotta show up. I mean, let's see if T-Love can get
That is all.
in Cruz's place. He's up 4-2 right now, looking pretty comfortable. Does he end it at 5-2?
Yep, that he does.
Wow, doesn't even need Cruz.
But T-Love has been doing this every single week. I feel like,
Yeah, he's gotta be locked in by now.
Yeah.
The hell of skirmish.
मैच को है थोड़ा टाइम.
Yeah, at this point, I know Jovi.
हमारी मैच को तो
used to
बहुत
play a
टाइम
lot
है.
of Valorant, but I think things are different now.
जी
when you're
की
head coach
मैच
of
को तो
RRQ and not yet
बहुत
into
टाइम है.
bragging. You're like freaking out and trying to do the game plan.
He played on stage in Jedi.
Jersey कब आएगी? It should be shipping out this week.
Someone recently, but taking a look though, RQ going. Okay, so Pearl Haven fracture.
All jerseys should be
I'm
shipping out
curious
this
if we're
week.
gonna see the same Pearl comp that we saw from RRQ last time. They
Right.
brought out that KO. which
Thank
we
you,
thought
Snoop
kind of
Singh.
was an answer
Like,
to
TMI, but
Gameplay.
thank you.
So I'm not sure if we're gonna see that from them again.
Okay, I'm gonna hide the Twitch stream for now. I'll move it there later and then I'll like find a way to make it happen. I'm sure there's a better way. Well, there is. I just fine. I'll use the better way. But like, I wanted to go live.
All I know is I do hope that, regardless of who wins this one, I hope that it's going to be competitive. I want to see that level up from RQ, and I still want to see full sense.
Okay, guys. So yeah, the primary reason why I came live was to tell you guys that our match is at 3:30 after this game. Hopefully, it's a quick 2-0, and then we can
I feel like those aren't very
compete
fast.
fast. Till then, wait. Let me mute this. I'm happy to do a little bit of a Q&A while this starts. I'm very happy to do Q&A. जितने भी questions है chat में lay it down. Let's go. पुणे में watch party कब? If we get to playoffs, we'll do a Pune watch party. EWC में क्यों नहीं है? That deserves its own video. उसके लिए अलग video करूँगा. Revenge arc, absolute revenge arc. अब तो then जी में कोई इंडियन प्लेयर के आने के चांसेस है. ये वाले रोस्टर में कोई तोड़ने के चांसेस नहीं है. Why was our team so nervous? Unnecessarily took the pressure on themselves for the game, which they shouldn't have. They should have just like had fun and played, and they would have won. They unnecessarily got stressed. We'll find out what happens today. Hopefully they don't get unnecessarily stressed today. Otherwise it'll be very silly if they get unnecessarily stressed. फिर से कैमरा चार्ज खत्म हो गया ना. I mean, रियलिस्टिकली मैं अभी कुछ ही चंद मिनटों में खुद ही कैमरा ऑफ करके पीआरबी स्क्रीन करके जाने वाला हूँ, बिकॉज मेरा थोड़ा काम है, थोड़ा इम्पोर्टेंट अर्जेंट काम है. सो जी ऑक के कितने टीम्स है? अभी फिलहाल एक ज़माने में मैक्सिमम 25 थे, अभी फिलहाल एक ही है. अभी हमारा फोकस ये वैलोरेंट टीम है और कुछ नहीं. BT just applied to A16Z speedrun, bro. Amazing. All the best. Share all your stuff with me. Whether I know some of the guys at A16Z, I'll drop in a message and I'll see what kind of startups and what kind of stuff they're looking for. Like share all your stuff with me on Twitter. Oh damn, yeah, I really want to get to playoffs and host a Pune watch party, bro. It'll be insane. Okay, chalo. I'm gonna do now. This is gonna go on like a BRB screen. I want you guys to watch the match, hang out, chill out. कोई भी chat में आया तो उनको बोलना मैं आ जाऊंगा. हमारी match ये वाली game के बाद है. So just I'll keep coming in and out. I need to step in and out of some work. तो अगले 1-2 घंटे के लिए मैं आऊंगा जाऊंगा आवन जावन, बट हमारी मैच 3:30 बजे इधर. मेक श्योर you're here. तब तक enjoy the games. What's up? I'm here only, guys. Okay. एक second. Two. Wait. BRB for second
RRQ started with
game.
2 wins here in stage 1.
I'll
but
be
their
back by
playoffs
then.
Are still not secure because last week they ended up
By the
dropping
time the
first
second game
match to
comes
stage
around,
1.
I will
And
be
right
back.
now they're not looking the strongest we've seen this team in a while.
We know the potential of this team. We know that they have the skill to make it to international events. But last week against T1,
कोलकाता वॉच पार्टी अभी स्टेज 2 का कुछ देखना पड़ेगा. फिलहाल तो not something that's currently not right now.
To locked playoffs today.
No, they really are. This is going to be another big test for RRQ. Continue to try to find their footing. Like you said, we know the capabilities of these players. They have been able to put that on display, but in glimpses so far in stage 1. We need to see consistency across the board for this squad. That is what they were operating with when they lifted a trophy. That's what they were operating
so
with when they
bachcha
defeated the
log,
core of this full set
I'm going to be
team
around in and out. Y'all can hang around and chat.
Yeah, exactly.
I can put
Full
some
sense, talent, at least with
हाँ
the score,
predictions लगा देते हैं
want
मैच
the
की.
revenge.
I
They
think
denied going to
RRQ
champion.
first game, but
That
full
must
sense
hurt
is
so
going to
bad,
be
especially after a glorious
who
stage
will
last year.
win
But they are also
first
having
match.
a magnificent stage 1
Alal
this
ku
year, especially with
pull
Leviathan
chance.
joining this roster. He's slotting in just nicely with the rest of his team.
Yeah, he's just been.
मैं आता हूँ थोड़े टाइम में. अच्छा लोग.
We're always wondering, okay, what's going to be kept from Full Sense as they have this kind of merger coming through, and Leviathan has just looked impeccable for this squad. So a fantastic choice, this great decision making from Cruz, who's now back in as a player and in his own right, has also been very much putting up very solid numbers in his own performances. I think we might even be seeing Cruz kind of in a bit of a because he's looking a lot better than he was last year.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Cruz coming back for this team was such a perfect move. You can see his leadership on the server. You see how much the rest of the guys on that team respect him, listen to his calls wholeheartedly. I think this was just the perfect change for this team.
That must be so magical for a coach, because we've seen all the coaches end up raging because the players aren't following the goddamn game plan. But now coach stepping out of that coaching booth is like, look, I'm just going to join you guys and tell you everything that you need to do.
I mean, it's just a matter of time before Alex does it.
Maybe. He did win the skirmish last week.
I'd pay for that. I mean, I think it can often give you
I
a
want him to
different
keep this
perspective.
job. But yes, that would be amazing to watch him. Any of the coaches step in with the boys here. Jovi as well also has that potential. He's done it, like you mentioned, Seth, over in the offseason.
Yeah, I mean, I think for Cruz, him going to the coaching booth to kick off will really have given him a different perspective on the team. You see a lot more from that coach booth. You're able to reflect a lot more easily on the mistakes. So I think that will have been a nice learning experience for him. And you can see coming back just how sharp and decisive the calls are. You don't see anyone really wondering, looking lost on the defaults. I think Cruz has a tight leash on this team and really knows how to use all of that young Thai potential that he's surrounded himself with.
He's talked about it before after the games. Sometimes they do get let off the leash a little bit, and he has to rein them back in, which can take a round or two. So those are the kind of mistakes you do not want to be giving over to RRQ, because at any moment, I mean, it feels like a pressure cooker. They could just explode at any moment. So you need to make sure that you are going to be playing a tight game here if you want to continue to put up very solid performances. But for RRQ, you have to remember what is on the line. You lifted a trophy last year. You got denied. You played 3 best-of-5 to try to qualify to Santiago. You didn't make it. You're looking for another trophy. You're looking to get Crazy Guy back on home soil, Ho Chi Minh City, in those finals. And if they stumble here, then that last slot of Group Omega is very much up for the grabs.
Yeah, absolutely. This could go either way. We have the Agent Select coming through now. But RRQ, they're running the same composition that we saw them lose to T1. 13-8 on this map. No changes. They're backing that KO. Full sense, though, rocking with that Phoenix, Kilios.
Yeah, I mean, Primi just going to be slotting into that one. Jit Boys continues to be very consistent on the Neon.
Yeah.
And I think that's everything you really want. You don't have to be dominant, you just have to have a pulse. You have to be steady with your performances. And that's what I'm looking for from Monyet, because you're going in, you are now the lone duelist. Jemkin can sort of operate as a pseudo-1 with this chamber if he gets going, but you need to have Monyet rather to have this incredible impact for RRQ.
Definitely. I think Jemkin on the chamber, this is a good sign that they're continuing with this comp right now. But you're right, Monyet is one player we haven't seen be unleashed all month. So I wonder what's going on with this team right now, and if today is the day where he is going to be stepping it up.
I want to see the Monyet from when he first joined RRQ. After he was on Paper X, he came in, he played versus Paper X, and he dropped an ace in the first pistol round, and he just started tearing ass with that Neon. I want to see more of that today.
Oh yeah, we love that, Terran. All right, we're going to send it over to casters. We got Quack and Pilsky.
Yes, it's us. Hi, I'm Quack. Wardrobe. But yeah, I mean, this is absolutely the whole thing that we have between Full Sense and RRQ. A Full Sense which has been kind of speeding towards playoffs, essentially, while RRQ somewhat limping across the finishing line at times. And even last week, they kind of actually didn't make it past the finishing line.
Yeah, unfortunate. I mean, RRQ looking for recovery now. Another tough opponent after a few too many mistakes against Full Sense. And honestly, some series against some of the Japanese sides that are not doing too well in this group. Over on the side of the boys on Full Sense. So, as mentioned on the desk, this is a revenge match from the Tokyo Finals. They went up 2-0 in that series, map point on map 5, and they lost in OT to RRQ to deny them a spot over at Champions Paris. So in the form that they're in now, especially looking at their kickoff run, you want to see them keep that momentum going, because they started kickoff very, very strong. They started that series over in the Tokyo Finals very, very strong, but if Full Sense start to falter a little bit or they run out of momentum, you have seen them slow down enough to stop finding that success in Pacific multiple times.
There's always that opportunity, and for RRQ it means that they want to qualify for playoffs on their own terms. This would be the map to do it. At the same time, a lot of the spotlight being shone onto Monyet right now. Let's kick things off, get those engines revving as we head over onto Pearl.
Yeah, both teams backing themselves with the comps that they've already been playing. That is a cheeky cam if I've ever seen one. I don't even know if I've ever seen that cam before from Leviathan on the attacking side to see all of mid. RRQ did go for a flash play into mid in their previous pistol round on defense that caught T1 completely off guard. And Full Sense walking in towards R, only a trademark holding it together over there.
A main being taken, however.
Yep. Chamber on that info mine over there. Trademark can be heard here by Full Sense, and Leviathan's on the lurk. It's just going to be a pretty simple 1-4A split here from Full Sense.
Simple push and a fragment to try and hold them off. Monyet has arrived as well. He does have a frenzy close range shots, but just kick things off. It's going to be Premier and Leviathan drawing first blood. A main being held just makes things so much better. Monyet goes down even.
Every time an RRQ player peaks, they just get one-tapped. Full Sense looking as sharp as ever, but very battered and bruised, making their way through the map. Cushy with Sheriff in hand. Got 2 stars on Xfero to try to get onto this spike, but Full Sense in the 5-on-2, not giving them much of anything.
Yeah, you mentioned those bruises, but it doesn't feel like it's gonna be a factor in this retake. Despite the Sheriff in Cushy's hands, despite the recon that's been tossed out, doesn't feel like he really has much more left to say in this round, despite a lovely little flick here and there. It's still gonna be Full Sense with the pistol.
Well, RRQ won a lot of those pistols, but still started the halves quite poorly up against T1 as they were eco'd on the second round 3 times in a row. This time not going to have the hot start in terms of winning the pistol that they had previously. Going to have to just take an eco and look towards that first gun round, but Full Sense looking as sharp as ever. See why a lot of teams are hyped about this team. A win over RRQ would be, again, a tick in the book of Full Sense. The problem is RRQ's not in great form. I think you actually do have to kind of wait to see the game against T1 at the end of the group for Full Sense to get kind of a true test for them, because the rest of the opponents they've had in this group haven't really put up much of a fight yet.
Yeah, that's a fair statement. Full Sense would be the first big Titan, you know, apart from T1 as well, but I mean, other than the slight attempt to take a main, it's just still going to be Full Sense being able to overrun the entire site.
Yeah, they haven't played Pearl for a little while. I think it was in their first series that they did play it against DFM, and it looked quite good for them. DFM picking it into Full Sense, although it was a winnable game for DFM. RRQ, on the other hand, did debut this comp, a change up into the double in just that last game against T1, and had some very good rounds, I have to say, particularly the attacking side, and some of the prep on the pistols was looking great against T1. But they're playing against a bit of a different style here for Full Sense.
Right, with the Phoenix and the Neon coming in, but at least for this round, just to kind of play it safe as much as possible.
Killua on the hunt. Sheriff in hand, wanting to add a few more to the Nightfall. He only has the light armor, so the rest of RQ looking to go down to the spike, not going to exit into spawn side. And so Full Sense, a very clean anti-eco there. 3 rifles and a Sheriff brought in towards round number 3 here. Their bonus is looking scary.
Very possible and much so on the cards. I mean, if I could kind of pose a question to you though, Billy, it feels as though RRQ in their game last week against T1, like Jemkin took a little while to get started. You know, it's been mentioned that they've made several mistakes. What do you think those are exactly?
I mean, just the ecos put you in such a bad position. You lose 3 ecos in a row. Yeah, like, it's very hard to describe what that feels like as a player in a big pressure game like this, but it really just takes all the wind out of your sails. So hoping for a bit of a better start. That's a nice util combo to wrestle control of A main here for Full Sense, and as such, they do get that run it back early on here for Primi. RQ will have been well aware that they wanted to try to work that A main control to be able to secure the orb. So the question is how they kind of play out the mid-round from there. It's quite a flexible comp with the double in it. They've got a lot of info gathering if they want it. Drone is still there in the back pocket for Cushy. But after that A main was taken, Full Sense is going to make their way back towards the B site. So Jemkin on the chamber, looking to come up with the goods yet again here and try to slow down this offense. Already pinging out the progression star from Full Sense.
That's quite a big responsibility. Ooh, the smoke coming up as well. Jemkin, at least he should be able to rendezvous away, and he does. See the rotation's coming quick enough.
Jemkin just playing at the back of the side. In comes the runner back, and Full Sense are going to pick up the pace now.
Xferro tries to hold, but unfortunately will not stand up to the task. Jemkin goes down after a slight trade, and Crazy Guy at least still close enough to get a couple of spams through the smokes.
The chamber is dead, which allows Leviathan to actually get on this lurk towards Street, so he can potentially pick RRQ on the cross, who are being slowed down for now.
Yeah, taking his little time. Pop Flash sent across, though, will allow Monyet safe entry into the back of Halls, perhaps double teaming up against Killua, but still, the position's being held. And a tough choke point to break past the off angle. It could be enough. Despite the kills coming across now, there goes Leviathan. And it's a split angle that Crazy Guy has to consider. He pushes up towards Pillar, and unfortunately that's where Full Sense takes the bonus.
And Crazy Guy was looking pretty good on the KO up against T1. And again, you can tell he's sharp. I mean, the motivation must be maximum for this man to make it to the Ho Chi Minh Finals. And to be quite honest with you, from what you've seen at the start of this group stage for RRQ, I'm not confident they're going to make it there. I got to be honest. Not looking too outstanding. They've already lost the bonus here of their map pick. Again, a bit of a lackluster start on Pearl. Killua just continues to look like the best initiator we've got in the league right now.
I'm out of here.
Yeah, him and Primi have been just kind of tearing teams apart. Granted, you know, the past opponents that they faced up were of different, varying degrees of difficulty, but still today, I mean, they're just continuing forward again and again. RQ this time, though, taking mid.
Yeah, Leviathan, very passive positioning. Playing around his couple of trips, he's got that deep cam towards A main. Outlaw looking for a pick onto Crazy Guy towards A, and once again, it's a well-placed fragment to slow down the offense.
Oh, doesn't really quite matter, does it?
I think he just got picked through the A main smoke there. And RQ have just been sitting in middle hoping for Full Sense to even do anything.
Oh no.
And yeah, I mean, they fall away. Xferro's just been left on his own, bandit in hand. Just not the timing he was looking for.
Then there were 3. Back out from Arts, an opening shot from Jemkin, but it's still not going to amount to much else. Cushy. Oh no, tried to play around the cage, but Cruz was still straggling behind, and that's enough coverage to get Full Sense up to 4.
Yeah, juggle away the Outlaw as well, so they come away with every rifle. Bonus and pistol one, clean anti-eco. This is a hell of a start to Pearl here for Full Sense. It's a map that they played quite well on, haven't changed their comp up. And this is the second time that RRQ has picked it and not quite got off to the start that they were looking for. Starting out on the defense this time around. So as they head into another gun round, they've got a lot of work to do. Let's see what they're going to come up with.
flame. Two sound A. Don't be stunned, guys. Carry.
I leave my
I take.
No, not. They go second timing, I think.
No, you guys one, guys.
Hey, can you do the flash for us, maybe?
Camp shop, I think, guys. Camp shop.
I break.
The flash to set them up on the line as the Prowler gets dealt with. Nightfall invested here, and Full Sense will speed up through R.
Oh, it's just gonna be Shit Boys trying to pull some attention away for the time being. At the same time, everyone's still kind of holed up towards the back of stairs. Blazewall gonna give them entry. Crazy Guys to back off, and you just have to worry about the back of A main, which Full Sense already quite aware of. Here comes Primi for the check, in with the flashes. And the guy just continues relentlessly.
I mean, this keeps happening to RRQ. They take this A main control, they get sandwiched, and it never feels like they're quite fighting together. They never find the cohesive crossfire to try to pick Full Sense on the cross. The fast lanes and the Blazewall are doing an excellent job cutting up these angles. Now just Xfero and Jemkin, well, just Jemkin, who hasn't even seen anybody this round, operator in hand, wants to try to hold on to that if he can. Killua around the corner here.
We'll see if we can try and hold on to it as much as possible. More players on the hunt now, but at the same time, it also kind of felt like that Nightfall from Killua, yeah, really kept them on their toes. They weren't sure if there was going to be another push out from the back of A main, and that's where the spike goes down over the site. Jemkin now being surrounded. Still does well to at least take down 3, but it's way too overwhelming with the entire force of Full Sense.
He gets just enough kills to get a 2 of the force, though. And I think you invest that in that next round every day of the week. Nothing is going right for RRQ. You need an edge anywhere you can get it at this point. See the actual Astra smoke on A main. I wouldn't be surprised, honestly, if that was Full Senses. Wasn't keeping an eye on who invests that over there, but you can see the smokes, the Blazewall, the fast lane, all invested to really cut this round up. And it means that the players in A main get isolated, and then they go and charge down Crazy Guy in dugout. Really nice play in the mid round for Full Sense.
So you have when this team is just everyone's on the same page. Tour de Force, though, as mentioned, will slow things down for the time being.
It's time for a star round from Jemkin. Got a fair bit invested in it. Couple of buckies. Cushy on a Sheriff, a weapon that he often does quite well on. Monument on the spot here. Can't afford to give up his life. Just drops the relay bolt, and in comes the Hunter's Fury as well. Comboed out by Cushy. This is great play with the ultimates here for RRQ.
Great way to really put themselves on the front foot. Meanwhile, for Full Sense, though, still got to worry about Leviathan trying to poke around the A site.
Cruz is taking his liberties as well. Making moves through Art, joined up by Killua here. Drone goes through the middle of the map here for Cushy. Goes looking for Full Sense, but won't find them.
Just avoiding it for the time being. Thinking to still re-aggress, pull off that A split. They smoke things off.
RQ just trusting the safety and numbers approach here.
Which would be wise. Crazy Guy still getting all the information despite the, well, supposed weaker weaponry. The range could still be good. Full Sense running out of time, wants to get the spike down. He got more frags and utility tossed across, but Cruz will do well with the wall bang. Another player spotted with the Prowler. Jemkin coming back across. And suddenly RRQ put themselves in position to put the first round on the board unless Cruz will try either way. Monument out with the Bucky. Xfero into relay forward. And there we go, 1-5.
Getting a little bit worried that Full Sense are going to be able to put a 2 or 3 on 5 together. You saw similar stuff from T1 up against RRQ in just their last series, where it felt like even if you were severely up in numbers as RRQ, they were having a tough time kind of putting some of those rounds together. RRQ able to scrape their way through that one. Starts off with a pick on the chamber. 2 of the force earned by the exits Jemkin found in the last round. Great combo of the relay bolt and the Hunter's Fury to further extend that advantage, and enough time for the Buckies to get involved and for Jemkin to rotate over with the 2 of the force.
React a little bit faster, okay? When you see the...
That's something we've heard from RQ before. I remember Monument saying that. Faster, faster, everything faster.
Yes.
Now you got Crazy Guy.
Perhaps that's what you need. Full Sense also not want to shy from playing fast, though.
Leading out the Thrifties, interestingly enough. Once again, Jemkin's been dropped off in A main on that info line. Big rotation over towards the B side of the map from RRQ. Full Sense prepping themselves for a take on street here.
I wouldn't mind this. It's good recognition from RRQ.
What to do after this for Full Sense though? They don't have any B main control. Flash up over the top, and RRQ will take B long here.
I was just trying to play it from a different angle, different position that Full Sense would have to work around, but also kind of taking things a little bit slow. It's Primi all the way up with a slow walk on the run it back, pulls Crazy Guy away from Heaven, allows for Cruz to find some quick entry towards the back of Halls. Xfero still in position, however, and then the trades come in. Monyet, this is what RRQ was setting up for. Now, Full Sense pulled apart, disrupted by the positioning, but suddenly more kills coming across because Premi's still online. Overdrive will slow things down, putting things down onto just Leviathan, where Monyet will finish it off.
He's been much needed. I mean, he's played nothing but Neon, but he's taken a performance dip since some of his previous highlight seasons. Hasn't been the star that RRQ have been needed so far in this stage of Pacific. Sense almost find a way to pick that last round up. See, this kill in backhauls makes the difference. Cushy swinging out on his lonesome, and then Xfero takes a 1v1 as well. So it's looking a little bit disjointed until Monyet's able to actually get involved in the action, and he gets the rest of the round cleaned up with Jemkin by himself. Big 3K from him on the Neon. So we head into round 8.
And that's what everyone has kind of been hankering for, is just for Monyet to get more involved in the rounds. Now he goes up towards A main alongside Cushy.
Full Sense itching for the retake though. Cushy picking up the orb, getting a little bit closer to a Hunter's Fury, but still not particularly close. Jiggle does spot out Full Sense here. You need to be careful not to stick around. The Neon can catch you in some of these off angles pretty easily.
So sensing danger, just backpedaling back over onto site. More smokes being set up while Cushy jiggles around.
Opts not just to stick around here. Still 3 players over here to defend from RRQ. A lot of reactive utility on Crazy Guy. Still a fragment and some flashes to go. Monyet up close with the Judge could go huge.
A slight click and it's going to be relay bolt, but just utility to hold off. Full Sense spamming all across it. It's the molly that cooks Monyet.
Yeah, comboed with the relay bolt. They just take the Judge out of the equation. Now Leviathan picking towards that trademark. Xfero feels the need to go looking for information because Full Sense have cut sound on A.
Has to be careful because Leviathan's around the corner.
30 seconds left.
More sound still being heard over A main though.
I mean, only the Neon was spotted there, and sometimes you do leave your Neon on a lurk. There's a little bit of a fake thrown over towards that B side of the map there for Full Sense. That has drawn a rotation. A site's open for business once again, and Jip Boy's sending it at Jemkin.
Ooh! Unfortunately, just not able to react. I mean, he almost had it, but the slide, that's the Neon effect. On towards a retake shift.
I mean, it's, again, a round where it feels like Full Sense are out mid-rounding RRQ. Just cannot get the clean duels and execution that they're looking for, and now they're getting shut out by the util.
Might just be a call to save as well. Don't have positioning, you don't have the right time for it with the spike going off soon.
Well, looking like an easier 6th round here for Full Sense. Do have the overdrive ready to go.
There.
The side of RRQ. Operator was dropped, but should have enough money to be able to reinvest in one. And Cosmic for one of these retakes would be something worth looking at. Full Sense could have gotten the Operator on the attacking side if they wanted to, but they've opted to just leave it. I think the rifle-centric gameplay is working excellently for them. For RRQ, I mean, it's very clear they've got good prep on this map, and they have a lot of setups designed around the KO flashes.
I hear a bud coming.
I mean, yeah. The thing is, Full Sense, they're just playing a 1-4, and they're kind of playing these rounds at their own pace. They change up the timing every time, so they're not really readable about when they're coming in the mid-round. And that's what makes it hard around those KO flash timings. Like, you need to get that clean execution where you're actually catching the death ball, or you're trying to push out and isolate the lurk. And I think RRQ need to commit to one or the other. Like, they are playing for positional advantage a lot of the time. And, you know, that involves either, you know, these 2-man setups in A main or the chamber getting on a deep info line and then you're rotating across to the other side. But it's very clear that, I mean, Full Sense, as well as even T1 last week, these teams are very adept at actually picking that style apart. You can get your drop-offs in A main or you can get your chamber on a deep info line or something like that. But Full Sense are actually very, very good at executing into that. They're going heavy up art or heavy through A main, and then they're just cutting these setups in half. They're either using the Blaze Wall or the fast lane, Astra smokes. Like, they very much understand how to pick these kind of, you know, defensive setups that are set up by the KO in the mid-round or drones out onto the line apart very easily. So that's whereas RRQ, I think you need just, honestly, a little bit more brute force aggression and to just find the timings where maybe if you're playing this stack heavy style, you're sending the KO flash and maybe you're pushing the issue a little bit more.
And that's what Monyet was calling for, or Crazy Guy was calling for, to react faster to things. Think about the first round that RQ got in this map. It was where Jemkin pushed up all the way. This time, however, he's back over onto the side of B Long.
A main control taken in the meantime by RQ yet again. They've left the judge over there, and they're thinking about going for a little bit of a rotation. Cushy keeping an eye on Art. Jemkin's glass cannon with the operator here, and he's got a lot of players heading his way.
This could be hell. He's going to evade all of it for now. Meanwhile, however, Full Sense just kicks down the doors and looks to take the site, even going a little bit further. Crimmy, unfortunately, gets decapitated by X-Pharaoh down onto the next, where Cruz now wants to apply more pressure towards the back of Link.
Plan hasn't gone down here for Full Sense. They are playing around a flood, and they're going to make an aggressive play towards Streak, punished heavily by RRQ. Relay Bolt comes in, unsettles Leviathan, but with a two-man advantage, RRQ are just waiting for the next mistake.
It's a slight overextension, and more mistakes coming in will put them down to the stake, where it's now RRQ back in to tie, well, or at least put the score up to at least half what Full Sense has.
Jemkin didn't get that opener, but X-Pharaoh punishing Primi for walking into Street there. You can see Full Sense like they were anticipating a flood. It's a very common play in this meta. I think a lot of teams have become conditioned to play against that, because in the Yoru Neon meta, that's exactly what you got. You tap the spike, and a lot of the time you're playing against these comps that will fast lane up, flash in, and then run into the site. And that's the kind of thing you need to play around there. Less common with the double E, it's a little slower moving, but yeah, I mean, you still can do that kind of thing with Neon KO.
Slight interaction switch up for RRQ, but this time back in towards A main, where you got Monyet with the judge, and he's trying, but no. Quick spams through the smokes, and it's the full firing squad from Full Sense.
4 Phantoms. The judge still has traces. That cam is still so good. And you can see all of the mid-aggression. I don't know if that's new tech for Full Sense, or if I'm kind of like not familiar with all the new tech nowadays, because that is disgusting, man. A lot of teams going to be stealing that.
Take flight.
Great prep for, the potential matchup against RQ. And now it's just keeping Jemkin at an arm's length, looking for that hit over onto the B side, possibly if Primi sees enough.
Big shove through the middle of the map. Cushy almost caught on the off angle, but he's looking a little bit more switched on today. Cruz goes down. No smokes left up here for Full Sense. They're going to have to rely on the cages in the fast lane. Blaze Wall still in play for Primi. That's a little dink through the wall for Jit.
Just a bit. There we go with the fast lane. You can already see Crazy Guy is just waiting in preparation. Leviathan, though, with the wall bang. Still with Cushy up from behind, and he's going to be the biggest demise. 2 players down. Make that a third with Primi finding a slight trade back. Does he have it enough, though, to get the spike down? It's 15 seconds left, and he does. Needs coverage from Jit Boys. Comes back in to hold the off angle. Takes down another player, and then it's just Jemkin left. Hit by a flash, and he's looking for a line of sight, but doesn't quite have it. Does he push up? Close range, and that's going to be a difficult shot to hit. Crossfire sort of being set up as well, while Primi's just tucked into the corner. Spotted out towards the back. Primi off to the lines. And Jemkin just has no idea how he's going to crack this problem apart. Will do good for the first, but still Primi into position. Jumping with the shorty, it's Jemkin.
As he got it, it's going to be very tight. Oh, that is as close as it gets. 0.8. Big clutch for Jemkin. Very patiently played, just waiting for Full Sense to make some kind of mistake. You're kicking yourself there as the player on Art's side that you weren't able to actually pick up the chamber on the cross. And a Red Bull clutch necessary for Jemkin to keep RRQ in the conversation here. Big play for Cushy. Sows a lot of seeds of misdirection there, slipping inside of the A main smoke, and he's looking very sharp and switched on today.
Oh my, yes.
RRQ are definitely in recovery mode, down 0-5 to start. They've won 4 of the last 5. Jemkin forced away once again by some great utility from Full Sense.
Quick recognition finally towards the A main plays now, shoving them off position, but at the same time, Leviathan.
Glass Cannon Phantom. would be melted pretty quickly here, especially by a Phantom from Monyet on the other side. Only one headshot needed to finish him off. Hunter's Fury and the Cosmic in play here for RRQ, who are playing retake A for the time being. You could get a reactive Hunter's Fury from Cushy as soon as the trigger is pulled here.
Perhaps then the intention just to keep Leviathan on that deep insert.
There it is.
Lurk. And the push coming in, but just as you say it.
That's beautiful. That is a combo of the Astra Util and the Fragment, making it very uncomfortable for Full Sense to bust out a main. Crazy Guy hasn't even been touched inside of the pit. Monyet's there as well. What a beautiful shutdown from RRQ.
Entry denied. Regardless of the attempt or the efforts to put forth the front, it's just Leviathan left. A high-low to the right, a shot to the left, and the triple stack will prevail.
Beautiful recovery in this half. RRQ has to be said though. Look at the timeline so far in this game. 0-5 to start things out, but from the last couple, they've been very successful once they got their hands on the operator and the guns. And Full Sense, it feels like some of the timings that they've been going for are starting to get a little bit readable. They've just jammed this 1-4 time and time again. And what RRQ are doing a really good job of is exactly what you saw in that round. They're starting to adapt to the timings and reactively using their util to make Full Sense's life impossible coming into the site here. Get the Gravwell Fragment in combo with the Hunter's Fury.
We'll see if they can actually get themselves up to that 6th. Just got a quick movement from Jit Boys. Slight flash in to support Jemkin with a shot, but now trade it right back up.
Yeah, that's a lot of pressure put on by Jit Boys, who throws up the fast lane. You can see RRQ responding to that. Xfero having a think about the rotate back towards B. There's 2 players, boots on the ground on that site for the time being. Leviathan was thinking about making his way towards A main, but I think the call's being made to come back over to B, drop the cage and the neural theft, and then make a decision from there with a minute on the clock.
They can get close enough. Jemkin's still a looming threat.
Here.
Up over towards the back of Halls.
Here.
Obscured by the smoke for now.
Here.
Do still have the overdrive there for Jit Boys.
Gives Full Sense the option to burst into sight if needed. But look at the shots, the reactions. It's Crazy Guy now with the frag. And more choke points being held. Killua with an attempt out with the Guardian, but still now Cruz back over, swinging all across the screens. It's just Jemkin who's still somewhere, lurking, in position, peeking, out with the right clicks, and now Full Sense slowly backing themselves into the corner where they need to get the spike down. And once again, it's the shorty. Tied up score at the end of the first half. RRQ looking better.
That's what you want to see from Jemkin. Put this man on the chamber. And on the defensive side, he is just causing Full Sense all kinds of problems. Multiple shots able to be taken in a round like that. Jumps up on top of the side box, reposition into back halls. He also had another shot earlier on in that round. And once we get into these messy situations in the post plants, you know, inside of smokes, fast lanes, blaze walls, he's just running around with a shorty, causing absolute havoc. 14-5 with a clutch to boot. He has done a pretty big dent in that massive deficit that Full Sense put up at the start.
Big damage, but still, either way, it feels kind of tense, kind of even between both teams, even as you think about the next half, where then perhaps more responsibility onto Monyet's shoulders as the sole Neon for RRQ.
Yeah, he's got a lot of work to do as the solo entry with the double init. It's where you need to be really good at reading the setups that Full Sense are putting together. I think they have more potential to actually flood harder than RRQ did on their defense. You already saw Full Sense kind of playing around their anti-flood when they sensed that there was maybe a quick rotate from RRQ, but that's exactly how Full Sense are going to want to play. That's what Neon Phoenix is all about. It's a very quick comp. You know, you throw up a fast lane, Prowler goes in, your Neon's running in, you get a curveball through one side of the fast lane, and all the boys are just out in the yard, sipping on the milkshakes.
That's exactly how you want to play in the yard.
It's been a while since I had a milkshake, man.
Yeah, you've been on a kind of a health kick. I love it. Jemkin 14-5, I just noticed that.
Yeah, I mean, Primy's just doing Primy things. Just another day of being Primy. We'll see RRQ start off this attacking side with Xfero on a hard lurk. They've got a trademark to keep things safe. They did just consume a star over towards B long, trying to make Full Sense paranoid that there was some kind of crossover there. And in fact, 2 stars invested just to be able to cross A main and threaten the B cross. RRQ prepping themselves for an A execute, but there's no one home for Full Sense.
Time to quickly pivot over onto retakes.
My camera is destroyed.
Then quite far back. Cam getting picked off. That should be a quick plant for RRQ.
Yeah, Trip keeping backside safe, and Full Sense looking to retake through spawn.
Okay, the Trip just kind of slows things down a little bit. Now Leviathan walks away with a couple.
Yeah, that Trip's just won the round outright, hasn't it?
Not something that RRQ were expecting whatsoever. Now it's Crazy Guy Xfero all the way out from A main. It's a little bit far off. Meanwhile, Primi ability to push the issue alongside more flashes, angles being held. And that's definitely going to be Full Sense's milkshake being better than RRQ's.
I mean, the Trip was phenomenal, man. Just to be able to protect the flood into pit, it's a very, very common transition for a lot of teams when you walk into an open A site, especially if you don't have mid control. The whole thing is that RRQ is looking to push the issue because they don't have any control of art. They don't know if it's going to be a multi-directional retake coming in from the defense, maybe coming in through street, or, you know, have a mid-take in response to A being taken. So without any aggression from Xfero on that lurk, you just really don't have the info, and you feel the need to push the issue somewhere, and it's either got to be art or pit. And unfortunately, in this case, RRQ has kind of chosen the bad option of those two.
Perhaps a premonition as to how the rest of this half could go. Thought the Coach Thee only was winning out in the skirmish. I didn't realize he was winning out in the pistol round macros as well.
It's a very nice pistol. Primi is now just going to farm himself a runner back, I'd imagine.
Looking for it. He's got support with the potential C's coming in. Ooh, grab well as well.
Yeah, being kept very safe by his teammates' utility. That's what allows him. I mean, he's going to play aggressive and confident anyway, but they're just safeguarding him. Let's be honest. I mean, it is Primi, so you give him a lot of respect. But many other players on the Phoenix, an agent that has no escape with a Phantom Light Armor against Eco, that would be a slap on the wrist. But it's Primi, so you can't criticize Primi. It's just illegal.
He is kind of hanging back for the time being. A bit more pressure onto Leviathan, who does have a Guardian, though. Smoked off, cage set up, and he's looking for the common spots onto the spike plant. No one's close enough, however, so he's going to keep himself undetected. The Outlaw.
Oh,
the first shot ringing across.
The flash is just a second late there, unfortunate.
At least with the spike plant, then RQ trying to play back. Rely on a bit of utility. Pistols at that range, probably not going to do too much. It's just Full Sense to try and pick their targets. Out towards long, drawing out the utility first with some taps initially to ban out reaction. Shepkin, however, still a threat, and then the shock darts to fly across, but ultimately, Outlaw Guardian will keep RRQ away.
They gave it a good crack. I actually thought RRQ was on for one there. Or maybe Kushi only had one shock. He shocked and then recon, so I thought it was going to be fragment into Gravwell into double shocks to deny the next half, and then it could have been panic stations, but Full Sense, they're in control. They're not going to get eco'd in the second round. That only happens to RRQ.
Oh, damn, Billy. At least today, well, we don't even have the opportunity for that. It's Full Sense so far with both pistols, but
let's make sure it's not both bonuses, because the percentage chances of winning a game after you get double bonus is quite low.
Pretty good point. Primi farming up orbs.
Yep. A main shove from Full Sense. But afterwards, just going to forfeit that part of the map and force RRQ to do the hard yards of retaking that space. They do have a double Eniac comp, so they've got all the tools that they need to be doing that with. Nice little bait setup, Killua and Primi.
Yeah, what if Primi plays Disruptor? He goes down, though. Killua, not too bad for the trade, but low HP, might get chased. RQ shifting for an A split. It's just Cruz in position. Does have stars around the site, but unfortunately we'll have to back off for now.
I mean, he's only got a Spectre, so he's got a lot of work to do, but he's got some friends now.
Wide swing. Oh, but still Monyet. Good on the spray transfer. It's just Jit Boys now out from the back lanes, while Killua's low HP Waiting for him to walk into his crosser. It's not happening just yet. Jemkin headed back.
I mean, it's the only player with light armor there, so that's the exact player you wanted peeking into Jit Boys if you're a Full Sense fan. But doesn't quite hit the shot. And as such, it's looking like a fantastic first gun round for RRQ.
No bonus this time.
No. Gonna make amends for what happened at the start of the game. I mean, let's be honest. For a game that started out 0-5, we're now, from the last 10 rounds, RRQ has won 7 of them, and they haven't won a pistol this game, and it's a very, very close game. So, I mean, you're looking at RRQ probably looking like the better team out of the two in this game so far. They've just had a bit of a tough start to both halves.
That's true. And they have been known to, come in with the slow starts, oftentimes and not first few weeks of Pacific Stage 1, but still, hopefully this trend can keep up. Looking for them to get that qualification over onto playoffs off this win. A timeout now, however, from Full Sense, wanting to right the wrongs. Cite recognition as to how RRQ have been angling to play on this attack.
See what they can come up with. Have seen RRQ already debut this comp against T1 just in the last week, so there's only so much time for them to really come up with some, new plays. Full Sense on this defense have already got the operator out on Jit Boys on the Neon, so I'd imagine they're going to want to try to lock down one of these info lines, or he's going to go for a pick in the middle of the map. Have seen A main be the main point of contention for both of these teams, really. Bit more so for Full Sense because they're prioritizing farming the orbs on the Phoenix. You have a little bit more of a one-dimensional approach on the defense a lot of the time with the Phoenix in terms of just, prioritizing getting those orbs. Or you fake that you're taking the A main control and you have a setup elsewhere. So for RRQ, they're a little bit more flexible with the double init. And as they head into another gun round, a chance to break Full Sense's money and even up the scoreline overall. And they've just had Full Sense call a timeout against them. So let's see what RRQ have had to prepare in their own timeout as they head into one of the more critical gun rounds of this game.
Wait, Kush, I will tell you when to
No
start, man. No sound. Only one, sir. Oh, it's a fade with Prowler. He will hold, like, collision.
Maybe B main fight then.
Only main.
Oh, nice.
Maybe second timing.
I will drone from
okay,
deep,
wait. Okay. Can you cap and real smoke for him?
Yeah.
I'll just hide in the main. From here, push from there.
Yeah.
I'll go closer.
So you hear RQ talking about the second timing there. They haven't seen anything in the early round. Jemkin's been sent forward with the Rendezvous active. He is looking to play around any kind of util combo that Full Sense might throw at them, or any kind of aggression. Drone out on this side of the map. Oh, you're lucky to be alive there as Cushy.
And at least with nothing seen then for RQ to make a more decisive effort towards the latter half of the round. So you see the op, you're thinking back towards it, perhaps an exploration down the middle.
Jemkin left on his own in towards A main. 50 seconds on the clock for RRQ to try to put some kind of play together here. No knife or dart. Oh, the dart is actually there for Cushy. He did invest his drone over towards that B side of the map. But look at this. High-low for Full Sense. 4 players on the A side, and you've already got Leviathan ready on a fast rotation.
Oh, back in with the Prowler timing. RQ reads it and decides to go in. Execute. Over onto the A side now. It's Cruz and Jit Boys. The op shot rings across. A bit of a warning sign, but also a bit of a position revealed. It's now Monyet firing off through the cages, and Leviathan off towards the back of sight to try and hold. 1v3, and he's done well to take down Jemkin. Has the option for the ult, but tries to play a little bit safer as well. The high-low up around the stairs. It's RRQ back in range.
Yeah, trusting safety in numbers there. And finally, are we starting to have a resurgence from Monyet on the Neon? A 3K. Cracks open the high-low, peeking into the 2 heavy hitters from Full Sense. Primi, as well as Kalua here on R, just not quite finding the right timing. You can see Primi was out in the open on his lonesome. And Kalua was a little bit too far to the right to actually line up that crossfire. Think RRQ might be picking up the foot tactic of pointing and laughing at your opponent. I know that Big Time on the desk is a big fan of that. What do you think? Good strat?
Good strat.
Win around, point and laugh?
It's widowy a good sweat.
Okay.
Don't know what I was doing there.
Yeah, look, Full Sense, luckily they do. They're on eco. They've got Primi, his run it back for round number 18. I don't think you'd be investing it in a round like this. For RRQ, that was a you know, pretty nice 2-on-1 to win. You can see that the start that they've had to this half has safeguarded their economy a fair bit. Like 2k on Jemkin, 4k on Cushy and Xfero. They can have a clean anti-eco here and not lose too many guns. Not only are they going to go up 9-8, but they're going to have a great economy, as well as the ult economy starting to come into the swing of things as well. Quite honestly, RQ are in an excellent position to win this game if they can get through this Sheriff round cleanly.
They'll put themselves up to 9. Have the ults, more options onto the next round, maybe get themselves up to 10. Economy once again broken for Full Sense. There's so much to consider. Full Sense, however, just looking to dive on top of the spike in the current moment, getting off of it once they hear the overdrive being popped. Just baiting more out from RRQ.
Hold on.
But suddenly it's the relay bolts. Jit Boys, he's found a weapon. Cushy coming back in. Crazy Guy trying to stay alive with no command. Cushy trying to save the day, but then it's just Cruz getting beamed down by lights sent out from Cushy.
Wait, he's sticking around. Don't die to the spike. That was so close. That was almost an ace from Jit Boys. Coming back in on the retake there. Chaos thrown into the ranks of RRQ as Full Sense just throw up a bunch of smokes, cages, fast lane, blaze wall, tap the spike, rip the overdrive. And from there, it's panic stations for RRQ. Got very expensive Null Command and Hunter's Fury, as well as 4 guns taken away. So Full Sense with only Sheriffs in hand, they keep that one very expensive.
Like you said, though, RQ will be able to weather through the storm back over towards middle.
Mixing in the operator helps them min-max the economy as well. And, well, 2 to force, I must say. The operator's in the hands of Full Sense as they look to take A main yet again here. RQ making some more moves in the middle of the map. They've been pretty successful with this art pressure.
Well, Full Sense also playing a little bit more defensively around these spots this time.
Monya hand in hand with Crazy Guy looking to clear out the middle of the map. It's a hands-off approach for a Full Sense who have left Jit Boys deep inside of A main. This has often been art pressure into an A ending, but especially with this info line for Jit Boys and the camera getting dealt with here, you are definitely feeling like something's up as Full Sense. Primmy's already leaning in for the rotation. They've got 2 players tucked into back halls.
Very passive position still being held, though. Primmy all the way towards the back of spawn, just in case. But now pressure is on. Cruz, Leviathan, do they have the hold? Unfortunately, Heaven angle being checked as well. Just Cruz onto the site, and he's turning around, trying to dodge some flashes. He comes off with a quick spray transfer, finding trifecta. Jit Boys fires off a shot as well. Spots found it, and that's just going to be Jemkin left, toward a force to try and hold off.
It's no time, but he has got himself an operator there. Thanks, Jit Boys. Trade in the ultimate for an op. Regardless, though, think about all of that damage done in round 17 by Full Sense. Follow-up gun round gets through for them. That's going to put pressure on RQ's economy as Full Sense equalizes the scoreline. And what a setup. Not only on the attacking side or even on some of these retakes, is there just so much smoke cover. Cages, Astra Stars, you've got Blaze Walls, fast lanes. It is a nightmare to attack into some of these sites. And look at Cruz, he is so comfy. He's been tucked in by Mum in the back of the B site. He's just fragging away.
Cozy position.
Yeah. Big hold from him. I mean, he was very much on his lonesome after Leviathan goes down. Primmy was flooding in with a run it back.
Gonna table that for now, though, as we head on into the next round. Quick A main contest from both sides. Jit Boys out with a Vandal.
That's a Phantom versus Vandal moment if I've ever seen one. Monya was the first to the headshot, but still will be the one to go down.
Already had one of those moments in Pacific.
Yeah, that was a round of all time from Eco. But not a round 1. Funnily enough, that was against RRQ as well, so.
There you have it. Gonna have to look for a quick reset now, though. Just trying to find that timing back in towards A side, but the check.
He's so fast, man. It's just like the fastest double headshot you've ever seen with the Phantom. And Crazy Guy has joined the circus here. Watch him juggle. Please, observer. I want to see it. He's just, he's juggling the operator all the way through the map, and he's thrown it out of the map. I thought he was going to juggle it over to B for a pick, but unfortunately not. Xfero, in the meantime, been a little bit quiet this map. He's actually been one of RQ's better performers in this stage thus far. This is a round where you're probably going to need him to come up pretty big.
The 0 point gives him some inkling.
30 seconds left.
Leviathan trying to backtrack just to congregate with the rest of his team.
I mean, you got numbers and a Cosmic. You don't need to play any games here. Cushy is still in play. Xfero needs to buy time for him to come back on in. Crazy Guy's got a flash and a fragment. Oh, Cruz is too switched on.
Such recognition. Now odds stacked against RRQ as the peaks come forward, out from heaven, out from below, and it's Full Sense taking the lead.
Spike goes down. Got about 1,500 in the bank accounts here for the majority of RRQ. I mean, there is a chance they could try to put a pie together here. Good recovery from Full Sense on the other hand. Their money is starting to build as they hit double digits on Pearl. It's been a very back and forth game. But really, would you expect anything else between these two teams? This was the lower bracket final over in Tokyo for a reason.
Back when it was Talon. But you're absolutely right, Pilski. I mean, this has just been a hell of an entertaining match.
Love that different variation on the Cosmic. You know, you can definitely just brain off Cosmic across B long. It's a very, very nice Cosmic to be thrown, but I actually love the one across backhalls, especially when you're playing Neon Phoenix. Because you can really segment that off as you take the rest of the site, drop double smoke, and really simplify the retake. And if you need to take backhauls or you want to try different variations, you can throw in a curveball, dive in with the Neon on the other side. It can work out very well for you. Last timeout here for RRQ. Last round of intervention from Jovi against his old squad. With RRQ backs against the wall, money looking a little bit shaky. Let's see what they come up with here. Don't think it's going to be this round where they find their success. I wouldn't be surprised if Full Sense tee themselves up an 11th. Jip Boys, 20 kills on the Neon. It's something that he's only debuted just this stage, and he still does kind of go back and forth, but depending on if Full Sense wants to play double duelist between playing Neon or playing a Senti, and then Leviathan goes back on smokes or something like that. If they do want to play double Senti, Full Sense just have a great flexible lineup like that. But to see Jip Boys do this well on the Neon after playing Senti and Controller for so many stages, it's just been phenomenal.
And what kind of strikes me is just the fact that he has the option to go for that op line. This time around, though, different setup for Full Sense. Rather defensive over onto A site.
Yeah, majority Phantoms again, knowing that there's probably only light armor for RRQ here. Going to be a lot of smokes to spam through.
It's just allowing RRQ to get within their range. Primi trying not to get wall banged as well. Cam spotted, into position, looks for the shot against the spike plant. Not going to find it for the time being as RRQ back themselves over onto stairs.
Yeah, they go back towards outside and they're going to wrap middle and try to play the post plant with the fragment and the grab wall, but Full Sense are very quickly in position. Monyet dealt with, nice spam back through from Kahlua, and they just take the fight straight to RRQ.
Right up through the guts of stairs, all the smokes, all the utility to support. And just bit by bit, they get chomped down. A bit of a strike back, though, from Xfero and Jemkin, but to what avail? The spike's been defused. It's Full Sense, clear as day, up to 11.
Nicely done. Few guns taken away by RRQ. But let's see what they've discussed in the timeout now. Cosmic is there. Crazy Guy won off the orb. Full Sense spotted on the deep lurk, or Cruz rather, spotted on the deep lurk there. So that's something that RRQ will have to keep in mind as we head into the twilight hours of Pearl here.
Twilight hours is right. You don't make it up to 13 at this point, you're risking an overtime or worse.
Big A main fight on the cards. Jip Boys is here with the operator.
Oh boy.
He's gone back towards Art actually, and the KO knife will push Full Sense away. They started out with the hot hand C's and they've immediately rotated back towards the other side of the map. So very much just trying to fake the A main control, but with the flash up over the top and the consume, RRQ take all of that space regardless.
Oh, look at the trip that Leviathan has to back aside as well.
Yeah, they've got the Nightfall to come back in on the retake here. But if you do give the plant or the orb over to Crazy Guy, then you do have a really good tool to either kick off one of these executes. In fact, it might, if he sticks around here, I'm wondering if Crazy Guy's going to throw a one-man fake with the ultimate.
He's going to try.
Go B, go B, go B. Okay, OP, okay?
Get up B, guys. I think I need to run
Last
from
run,
here,
last
guys.
run, push very fast.
I think jiggle, cha.
Yeah, let me jiggle, let me jiggle.
Go.
Just wait, okay?
3 push all the way up B long, full sense. Does RQ expect it? A slight check from Onyet, but the slither across, and it's just Cruz and Primi to be able to hold on the line. Spike dropped, round gone. It's crazy guy left.
They never got to execute the game plan. They wanted to fake the KO ult after A main was taken and go back towards B, pulling the rotation away from Full Sense. But Full Sense were 1 step ahead. 3-man push up B long the first time this game. Spike picked up by Crazy Guy. But I don't think he's going to get anything done here. 15 seconds on the clock. You're looking to just probably save the Phantom. Oh, man.
Whoa.
10 seconds
And
left.
I don't know if it's possible to even try and sugarcoat this Pilski at this point. RQ might be able to scrounge up a buy for the next, but Full Sense would be up to that 12, and they also have ults.
Yeah, run it back in Nightfall. It's a retake starter kit.
Match point.
It's a bit harder to execute one of those retakes if you've got the KO ult in the post plant. And unfortunately, that is a perfect example of Cruz with a masterclass call. The B push against this slower A main control, and it all starts from that start of the round. You see Full Sense throw that combo of the C's hot hands in A main right off the rip and look to contest that part of the map, or make RQ concerned that they have a heavy stack towards the A site, and then they push all the way through B with 3 players. They were everywhere in that round.
Cruz particularly, for the past few rounds, has been omnipresent. Now on to the next with RRQ back in towards A main. The rest of them hovering across middle.
They may just look to simplify. Another smoke towards top middle that slowed RRQ down quite substantially, but I think they're just going to kick off an art split into A. Kahlua up close. Primi and Leviathan on the back side of the side. This could be a Nightfall and a quick flood with the run it back.
Here we go. All in or nothing. Null command to kick things off. Primi to slow things down with the molly. Oh, and the positioning from Kahlua is just gorgeous. Waiting for the right time, and he doesn't get checked. Jemkin luckily turns back around. Cosmic Divide gives RQ a bit more urgency. Can they get the spike down? No, Primi! Oh! He's coming, and he has torn things apart. The formation all broken across. 40 seconds, they try to get the spike down. It's Cruz up from behind, and Xpharaoh just trying to fend him off. Provide more assistance. Provide more obfuscation onto the smokes. Jemkin trying to bail himself out with Rendezvous. Everything onto this A main hold or nothing. Xpharaoh towards the back of the smokes, plays around the edges, doesn't get spotted, has the right timing, right position. He finds the first, onto the next, and then Jemkin back to the shorty, diving on top of the spike, gets thrown away by Jit Boys. Xpharaoh has to do everything, but he can't. Cruz, what a play! 13-9. He has been reading RRQ every step of the way.
Yeah, beautiful play in the post plant there. I thought Xpharaoh was about to put on a clinic, but what was that flick from Primi on the run it back? A 180 flick onto Monya inside a church. That was filthy. If that's not in the next flick of the week, I don't know what deserves to be at this point. And there you go, Full Sense picking up another game of Pearl. The second time this map was picked into them, first by DFM, now RRQ. And they are just running this Phoenix Neon comp to perfection at the moment.
You just see how they're able to kind of play around the fast flood, how they're able to constantly dump utility in for executes and pushes. The confidence at which Primi operates, oftentimes on the defensive side as well.
I mean, Full Sense's players, very sharp, big individual performance from both of the duelists in this game. The rest of the core had their moments as well, but what impresses me is the macro from Full Sense. Some of the setups, this trip on backside of the site, Leviathan was very annoying on the Cypher, not throwing trips too close to get caught by KO knives or any of the Sova shock darts or anything like that. And I think the rest of Full Sense's macro up around that was just phenomenal. They were always one step ahead of RRQ on their attacking side. Credit to RRQ, they kept this game very close despite the fact that they won. They lost the first 5 rounds in a row, and they lost both pistols. They still did put a couple of gun rounds together, but at the end of the game, it was Full Sense with enough adaptations to get the game done. Now RRQ 1 map away from going down 0-2 in this series.
I can't believe that that's what is happening right now, but for now, we're also going to toss it back to the desk with the good, the bad, and the ugly. Who's who?
I am not ugly.
Who's who?
How could you no.
I'm definitely not the good. But I'd like to think I'm not the ugly.
Who knows? We'll have to ask him after the show.
Draw
very
straws
aggressively.
for it, I guess.
Well, FullSense ended up winning this map out while we
Should've
debate.
gone Korean style, the good, the bad, the weird. Great movie.
Is that a movie?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
It's a great one.
We should watch that after this. We get no Korean games today, so we can watch a Korean movie after. FullSense, however, continue on dominating in stage 1.
Yeah.
Argue had a little mini comeback there for a second.
Yeah, I mean, they started stringing some rounds together, but I do think ultimately they were outclassed in this game for sure. I mean, they made that first half close, but FullSense just take over in the second. See them dominating in first kills. As Pilski was just saying, that double duelist was firing for FullSense. I feel like RRQ just couldn't match up to that firepower in the crucial big swing rounds.
And again, it does come down to having just that solo duelist. And for Monyet, it was, much like for the rest of the team, a very rough start to this map. And then they were able to find their footing in the end. I mean, honestly, seeing RQ be able to bring this back to 9 after a 0-5 start, they have no pistols to speak of on Pearl.
Yeah.
It's not that bad when you look at the total context, but on paper, it's still going to look rough for this squad. It's good to see that there is still a bit of that tenacity that we know that they have, but it needs to be a hotter start for this team.
Yeah, absolutely. Like the map is always going to be so hard if you're losing the pistols. If you're losing that bonus round, you have to fight tooth and nail to get yourselves back in the game. RRQ did try their best. You know, I really did feel like they put up a fight, but ultimately, just the flow of the game consistently going against them, and you just see how just powerful that double duelist is. The aim on these targets is absolutely ludicrous, and I feel like RRQ have to wake up in map 2.
Oh, absolutely. And speaking of flow, I feel like FullSense has also reached a sort of flow state in terms of working with each other. That is finally really, reaches maturity, and I think FullSense is going to go really far at this rate. Now, Primi, speaking of people with absolutely astonishing firepower, when you put him on anything, he can just cycle those ults constantly.
Especially when you put him on a build diff team.
Yeah, I mean, this is the big difference between these two comps. Primi's on that Phoenix. You see RRQ opt for that KO. So takes the orb, of course, got that ult online in round 3. The bonus round uses it on that exec, and you just see them overwhelm RRQ's defense. And this is what really starts that snowball going. From here, RRQ are automatically on the back foot, really having to climb to the nail to stay alive.
Yeah, I mean, two of the players that honestly have been maybe the most consistent for RQ so far in stage 1 were having a really rough go of it.
Yes.
I mean, not being able to see big performances out of Xpero as well as Crazy Guy, that is a bit unorthodox compared to what we've been seeing from them. So need to see a massive level up, because the next map, it's FullSense's pick.
Yeah, a little bit surprising actually for those two particular players to not be showing up today on the first map. Now, I want to look at the Neons, the two Neons here, and how they kind of panned out over the course of this map. Jitboys on Neon is looking pretty good.
I honestly feel bad when I was requesting this, because Jitboys has just kind of slotted into this role so perfectly. This is a player who has like basically no history of playing Duelist at all. Prior to him picking up the Neon, he's played Reyna once, I think he was Raised twice. He's never played Jet. He has like no tracked games basically on Duelist, and this is the 5th time that he's played Neon, and he is just dipping the ever-loving hell out of Monyet, who's been playing it for an eternity.
Yeah, I mean, I think the one thing I really like about how Jitboys plays the Neon is he doesn't try and do too much. You know, look at players, someone like Ramiro when he was on Team Secret, he's constantly trying to make things happen, but Jit just relaxes. Now, here we see Monyet, he's trying to get himself back in the game, so he picks up the Judge to try and get those kills on the board, and he's just dying through the smokes. And man, I felt so much for Monyet, because I feel like his Neon should be so much better than this.
Yeah. I just don't really know what it is. Is it an individual thing? Is it a confidence issue? Is it that they're not setting him up properly to be able to make plays like this? It just feels like there's something very critical missing at the moment for RRQ, and they need to find it, because, again, their playoff spot is not locked, and though they still have 2 wins under their belt, they seem likely to be able to take it. But if they lose here today, it's not looking good. And again, I felt bad requesting this, but it has been an eternity since Monyet picked up the Neon. And back in the day, 1,400 days ago, he looked good. We were saying, I love seeing Monyet play that Neon.
They did play were, the teams who are at the bottom of the groups right now. So today, I would say, is a little bit more of a test right now. But how are you feeling about full sense, you know, as we go through this match today.
Good.
Yeah, I mean, map 1 was great for them. You can see the clinicalness of the core lane from Cruz and the firepower. I feel like this is a team that has everything. This is a team that really can make that run all the way to London. Yes, they played those weaker teams, but they're not skipping a beat now that there's big international contenders on the other side of the stage.
Yeah, I mean, the time that you start becoming concerned for them, at least here within the region, is if they let those maps get away from them. But they weren't, because, you know, talking to Cruz before, he said sometimes I do have to reel them back in. They start having a little bit too much fun. They start getting complacent. And then, okay, we saw that there. We saw that creep back in from RRQ, which is also them performing well.
Yeah.
But they were able to stabilize, and they said, okay, no, now we shut you down, now we take the map. As long as they're not letting the maps get away from them, then it's totally fine.
Well, one thing that's become very clear about Cruz is that this is a man who likes to plan ahead.
Oh,
He's
sure.
planned his whole life ahead of him,
Yes.
so I think he kind of knows what's up with full sense here. And we do have changes coming in.
But
for,
not what I expected at all.
Yeah, for RRQ especially.
They're leaning into the Jet. I mean, we saw this. Gunman played it in the series just last week versus Global Esports, and he looked incredible. We know that Jemkin is a very talented Jet, so I don't mind this so much on paper, but I always do have like a bit of apprehension around Jet on Haven.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm all for comfort. I mean, I think this makes a lot of sense. In my mind, Jemkin can get on that up and look stable. I also think maybe they're trying to get up and over all that Sentinel util, you know? I think it's a way to, you know, sort of minimize the effect of those the trips and the sensors if you're able to get up and past them. But, you know, still, Monyet's going to be caught in those, so Jemkin needs to really overcompensate with this performance, I would say.
He needs to overcompensate there, and he also needs to be scouting that util. If he's going to be the one circumnavigating it, he needs to know exactly where it is so the rest of the team does not get caught on the way in.
Well, at least Jemkin's waylay won't be slowing down Monyet this time with his util.
Ruby's still sticking with it.
Yeah. Well, all right, we are going to go to map 2 of Haven. Let's see if RQ can bring it back as we send it back to our casters, Pilsky and Quack.
Well, there you have it. Whether or not we're going to be watching Full Sense get their tuk-tuks ready, or we'll see RRQ come back and expand their kingdom, it all comes down to this possible Haven now, where everything's going to be left on the server. The comp change is coming in.
Yeah, as mentioned, I mean, Jovi has been former coach of Cruz, has a lot of experience playing this Cypher Deadlock, and we already saw GE continue to play that against a KRX that played Jet into it, and I thought the Jet played into it quite nicely. Full Sense will have to start out on the attacking side, and they seem undeterred by the Waylay nerfs. Primi will continue to play that. I don't think it's going to affect him too much, but as a solo entry, at times you do want to go for that dash saturate, and that's not going to be something you can do anymore.
Yeah, you're going to have to think about it differently. Of course, supported by Killa onto the sky for now. They will take a lot of control over Garage. The trip, however, just a bait out for Monyet into the relay bolt. Xfero onto the other side, but what is that light speed all the way across? Leviathan finds two, and all of a sudden the C site belongs to Full Sense.
They got none there? What? There was like a 3-man setup on the retake into Garage. Look, Cushy will pick up the scraps. Jemkin's getting going now. Tailwind active. One more kill away from his second one. Do have a dart still in play for Cushy. But so much time ticked off the spike and a sonic sensor down on top of it. I don't know how you complete this retake.
You would have wished to have smokes somehow. Not this one way. That's not what I'm talking about.
One way grab threat has just been thrown out.
Oh boy. Unfortunately, Cushy goes down. Jemkin just trying to avoid most of it for the time being, but with 3 targets to hit, the tap going off, he just doesn't really have time anymore. The best he can hope for is just the kills.
Yeah, I mean, he's just looking to try to get anything closer to his Blade Storm that he's able to. And RRQ, I mean, they had the right setup, they had the right read, and it still doesn't end up coming together there.
I want to see that again.
I want to see the replay, because I'm pretty sure that Cruz put a sonic sensor into window there to deal with the flood, and whoever jumped out a window at some point did get stunned by something. I don't know if it was the sonic sensor or not. I think it's the only thing that could have stunned someone there.
Because Monyet already threw out the relay.
Yeah, I mean, that is very nice tech from Full Sense if that's what they threw. Regardless, though, for RRQ with a 3-man setup ready for the garage play, you would have expected them to do better than going 0 for 3 there.
Yeah, but it is what it is. You move forward now. Crazy Guy walking down middle takes down the camera.
Yeah, he does. I mean, RRQ, they were playing the Gen G comp previously, and they've kind of been going back and forth between... Oh, the forward dash. I feel like I'm watching Francis play Neon.
forward slide.
Yeah. If you know, you know.
Oh, I thought I washed that out of my brain.
Yeah, do you get in the shower and just really massage
tried,
the
man.
scalp?
Yeah.
Make it stop.
You brought it back.
Yeah.
That's a accuracy. No. Okay. Blocked off by the barrier mesh as well.
Yeah, I mean, once you get onto the site as Full Sense with a deadlock, it's hard to get back in as RRQ. Is Cypher deadlock in a nutshell. Shouldn't be a particularly strong attacking comp. Cruz looking to build up his annihilation. Bang.
No.
Way! Jemkin is panicking there. He's like, what? Where is he? I don't think the comms came out because the thing is, the Cypher got shot in the side of the head. Then Jemkin checks close. He's like, oh no, there isn't anyone close because Cruz took half a step backwards. And then he's like, oh, he's front B. And then as soon as he turns around, Cruz peeks him. That's very unfortunate. Look at this, bang. Then Jemkin's like, what? He's B? He's where? Nope. He was in spawn side the whole time.
Alright, it's just round 2. It's just round 2.
I've never wanted to know Thai more.
No,
so badly.
I don't think you want to know what they say. It's very similar to what the Filipinos say sometimes, but anyway.
Seedlings?
Yeah. You know, very similar languages here and there. But, alright, Trailblazer over onto Garage.
Yeah, one-way thrown out in response.
Ooh.
Beautiful spam through for Crazy Guy. Off angle from Jemkin, up on high, dealt with quite nicely. Cruz doesn't even go down there. Cushy next to respond.
Also just try to hold off of the smoke up around short. A very slight gap. Cushy's watching it.
Yo, they just left
What?
Jip Boys here! They left him by himself! They were just hoping, oh, look, if he gets one, if he gets anything done, we're happy with that. And he's just caught RRQ on the rotation. Full Sets might win another bonus to start out the attacking side against RRQ.
Got the Odin still. At least Jit Boys gets taken down, but off to the B plant. It's just a tough angle to try to retake from. They will push forward off of it. Almost spotted by, or almost headless because of Primi. Now it's Xfero, but he's being blocked up by a Sonic Sensor as well. And Primi's just going to take full advantage. Wants to get ahead of the peak. Well, at least Xfero takes his time. Second sensor goes off. And this is more than likely where he's just going to be marked for death. Cruz toying with him. A slight wall bang.
Oh, that's nice.
Xfero shifts towards maybe getting more alt points, but either way the round is done. It is going to be the second bonus of the day.
Nice movement from Leviathan. He jump spots the spike with the Shrouded Step. Grab net, Sonic Sensor. Bonus converted from Full Sense. Another hot start here to another map against RRQ.
What was that from Chip Boys?
It's a cheeky little off angle map. Dropped off on the lurk. Round starts well, because that is a common position for the Sky to be trailblazering from or sitting outside a garage. And Jet Boys going strength to strength. Can't think of any other players in Pacific that just go...
What are we doing?
Yeah. Yeah.
Couldn't tell you.
Feels bad, man. See if Jemkin can help raise the spirits of the coaching staff here. Tailwind back away to join up Cushy on the site. At least they were able to save the Odin for Crazy Guy.
Still not the best chances in the current round, though. Might decide a timeout sooner rather than later. But at least the angles, the high-low. Oh, but it's still the outlaw. Monyet gives it his best shot.
I mean, a hell of a way to dismantle the crossfire. The Cypher just entries the side dry.
When you put it that way.
Well, Crazy Guy looking for some exits with the Odin. Xfero with naught but a classic in hand.
It's just not really possible. If the Odin gets tossed away as well, that could be even worse. But start things off with a slight heaven kill. Trying to play around it. Oh, Crazy Guy puts things down to the 1v1. But still, the Odin takes a little bit of time to get started. Killua can just swing. Tries to get the free fire going, but Killua, more precision than ever. It's Full Sense, just non-stop dominance.
4-0. They went up 5-0 there on Pearl. Let's continue to go strength to strength. Now they have an Annihilation and a Neural Theft. It's not the combo that comes to top of mind, but often if you can find a nice timing for the Annihilation in the mid-round, say you work Garage Control with the Trailblazer or something like that, and RRQ runs some kind of trap and you have a lineup into window or something like that, it is the kind of situation where you can find yourself a pick at the mid-round, rip the Neural Theft, and then you're able to kind of read the rotation. Well, it does kind of assume that your Cypher and Deadlock are in the pack together, which is usually just not the case. Usually you're going to have the Cypher kind of lurking one side, and the pack will be, you know, Waylay, Deadlock, Sky, or with the Omen.
Okay.
I mean, yeah.
That's what they
do.
Yes.
True.
Full sense.
That's a fire pole.
What's that little gif with the fire and they're writing on parchment?
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely not wanting to see this continue for RRQ.
Yeah, it's been a rough start yet again. So they're going to be heading into their first gun run here. Once again, Odin comes out for Crazy Guy. You've got the op for Jemkin to change things up. Full Sense, on the other hand, prepping themselves for a quick play towards Grass. There's a trip inside of Garage and front B. So nice Cypher util for RRQ. Let's have a listen into their comms.
Guys, might need to flank ya.
Cypher here. Hey,
Take crouch shot, take crouch shot.
Cypher here.
Crouch shot, crouch shot. I recon C. Second coming.
Oh, they've done well, but ooh, Annihilation, quick response out from Full Sense. Xfero has to hold, and he's trying his darndest. Takes down the first initial, but then for Crazy Guy to relay in. All of a sudden, it's RRQ flooding back in over onto C site. They put the first round back on.
Yeah, very nice hold, and I think RRQ has seen that play before. You know, they talked about the double cage over onto C long, and they said Care Garage, so they're very well aware of what that C split was meant to be looking like, and you can see the quick flood back on in. Monya as well as Crazy Guy were both backside. You get a nice off angle and a reactive smoke onto the front side of Garage. That's a perfect hold and response from RRQ. Post timeout, they've done a great job there.
But as the dust settles, it's onto different approaches out for Full Sense. Progression smoke down C.
Smoke comes in response from Crazy Guy, who continues to wield the Odin all the way down C long is Jemkin. He's got a very deep info line here. Sense looking to pick up the pace into B. From me onto backside, Refract active, looking for a pick.
Oh, the Seekers as well. Jemkin's position noted. Look at what's happening all outside of C-Link.
Sonic Sensors placed over onto B here on both sides of the links. It's going to be a pretty annoying retake for RRQ, especially because the Trailblazer and the trip's been broken in Garage, so now you're worried about a flank as RRQ, but not the flank you were expecting.
Oh my goodness. What is this decision? Suddenly off towards the back of window as well, because the trip was broken. Killua is alerted, has support from Leviathan onto the site itself. Xfero tries, plays around the cage, wants to provide that assistance and coverage over on the Crazy Guy, but it's just not enough. Too many angles to consider, and the timer's still ticking away. Off with the flash, he pushes up, managed to snap onto the first, but still has to contend with Leviathan, and that's where he's run out of time.
It's just an untenable retake. So many layers to that round for Full Sense. Fast play into that B side. They get the spike down early, dump all of the Deadlock utility into B. Trailblazer wraps back to Garage, which is what pulls the aggro away from Jip Boys to walk up C long. He picks Jemkin in the side of the head. Then the Neural Theft gets repped, and you can see ripped, and you're going to see Full Sense playing around exactly what RQ's going on for the retake there. Really nicely. This is the kind of retakes that just feel unwinnable as RRQ.
Maybe a little bit costly for Full Sense, though. Cruz back onto the Judge, once again with the Odin.
You just don't really see it much in Pacific, to be honest. Compared to some of the other regions, definitely not as popular of an approach.
Smoked off towards B. Play a more defensive position, but Full Sense just take full advantage of it. Same setup, same barrier mesh.
Yeah. I mean, good shots from Killua. Chip Boys looking to hold down the flank here. Does go checked in spawn. Nice double peek from Monya and Jemkin.
Yeah, I know it's an eco, but this is even better. Jemkin. Blades sharp. Looks to break apart. But onto the side, it's a crossfire angle being held. initially with a relay bolt to try to break apart the formation, but countered back with convergent paths, and suddenly Killua goes jump peeking. The blades running out, he dashes in, Jemkin tries to pull it.
Has he got that? No way does Jemkin pull off another last second defuse. That is absolutely ridiculous. Saw him do the same thing on the chamber over on Pearl. Jesus, man. He thought there was no way they were pulling off that retake.
Like, it even took an extra second for him to pull out past the dash, but he still managed to find it.
Yeah, Jemkin is Bladestorm. He's put on carry games with the Jet in the past. You can see why RRQ are playing straight back towards that.
Hey, Cha, huh? Go to the...
It's round 8 now. And that has broken Full Sense's money. What a play from Jemkin. Felt like RRQ had no hope in this half, and he has given them a lifeboat.
Just try to swing things back into their favor. Carry forward with that momentum. Full Sense, though, it's Jit Boys all the way up long. He's going to get caught out towards A.
I mean, he's just trying to go for anything. Pretty low risk round with a Sheriff. See how far he can walk up into A. And you thought that Full Sense were going to be joining him there. But unfortunately, a little bit slow to the punch. Kushi clears out all of sewers.
So you might not expect that much more, but Monyet playing it safe with jump piece as well. Gonna get hit by flashes, but suddenly comes in Primi with the Bucky.
Refract back now, a grab net dumped straight onto Kushi, but kept safe nicely by Crazy Guy.
One enemy remaining.
Hand in hand, they clean up the rest of the site, and it's all on Killua. He is very, very far out of position here. Just wants to go down. He doesn't even really care if he gets a kill here. It would be nice to do some damage to RRQ's economy, but if he can just get himself the Seekers for the next round, which he does, and he'll be happy. 2 in a row for RRQ, starting to recover on this defensive side. Could definitely get a Seekers Annihilation combo back in for Full Sense.
A lot of potential out for the next round. So for RRQ, still needing to watch out for whatever aggressions may come, but at the same time, I believe Jemkin should be able to afford himself an op.
Indeed.
There we go.
Op and Odin, and Jemkin will be the first contact over here on C.
Smoked off though.
The Annihilation, you did see Full Sense go for a pretty similar play. Quick flood back on in from Crazy Guy, and Kushi's already made it to Sports. Van goes through.
The anticipation, the drop. Oh, a second one fired off. And then the fast lane to kind of segment the site as well. Full Sense trying to play around it. Look for an option path down garage from the shadows from Leviathan.
Oh, that was cheeky from Xfero. He almost caught himself a freebie. Out comes the tag. That's a collab with the drone tag. Oh, this is just getting picked apart from Full Sense.
Okay.
Jemkin is hitting everything.
I've never seen a collat drone before.
Oh my god, Bob, get the camera. Relax, son. It's a drone. Sit back down.
Drone that afforded them 2 more kills. Now it's Leviathan. Unfortunately, blocked off on every single pathing. Smoke now. The relay fall towards the back. No chance.
Well, at least he killed the guy with the Odin. That's a little bit of justice. If only a sliver, to be honest, because RRQ are picking apart that fast C play multiple rounds in a row from Full Sense. This time it was a 1-4 with the weaker side of the map being C long. Spam comes through from Crazy Guy, and then Jemkin just starts going crazy. You don't clean this guy up on flat or in the backside of the C site, then you're in for a bit of trouble.
Are you still coming, you know?
Starting to feel a little bit better, despite how the first half started.
Save again for Full Sense here. Do get the A lobby control being secure. Jemkin now getting on that info line as the cage does fade. Cam picked back up as Full Sense turned away back towards garage.
RQ though will always have options.
Oh,
Paranoia
again!
Into the Odin spam. Garage control always being held, but a slight entry being found thanks to Primi's antics. Jit Boys with the lurk onto the Guardian, but not quite able to deal with the initial pushback from Kushi and Monyet.
Got to be the Bucky to do a lot of damage at close range here. Maybe an Annihilation connecting onto somebody. Drone goes back through Garage. Xfero's in the middle of the map, already caught Leviathan on the wrap back around, and this is just looking like an easy routine retake from RRQ. Fast lane zoning Primi away. He wants one more kill so he can get himself a convergent pass if possible. RRQ are not giving him that opportunity.
Quickly recognizing it. Should be looking to die as well though, unless he's gonna preserve
just
the Vandal.
Gonna save the Vandal. He was hoping RRQ would speed up into him, and as such doesn't end up coming together. This is great defense from RRQ though. This is a map that they've played for a long time. Various different iterations, either they're playing that kind of Gen G comp or they're playing double duelists, and in the past that used to be Neon Yoru, but now back onto the Neon Jet. We did play Jet on this map before that with the old Breach comp and things like that, so it's not out of their wheelhouse at all.
Not so much for the combo as well, more so for the players to be freed up individually. Jemkin once again, that was a headshot as well. Annihilation back in response, but his teammates dig him out of the hole. Unfortunately, that's where Cruz applies a bit more pressure. Chip Boy is out from the side of Long now, trying to play around the cage. It's Xfero alongside Crazy Guy, but the spams, they don't connect. Just Crazy Guy up close and personal. And he goes for the crouch, crab lock peek, Red Bull clutch. It's RRQ up to 6.
It's going absolutely nuclear with the Odin at the moment. Just able to play around the defaults multiple times for full sense. That round starts off well. I mean, the Jemkin Op and the Odin are doing the most right now for full sense. Or for RRQ rather. Beautiful 1v2. Neural Theft, you know, was looking for him. They didn't know exactly where Crazy Guy was, but from backside, he's just doing a good job holding down the trigger.
Go to the last of the path.
Yeah, that was the Seekers and the Annihilation invested. Cruz almost gets caught on the cross right off the rip.
Oh, Jemkin. A lot of information for RRQ, especially the check from Crazy Guy as well.
Trip dealt with, and now we've dropped off Jit Boys, who's putting some pressure on the flank. You've got Jemkin down the bottom of C Long. The rest of RRQ were ready for an A play. Drone goes forward looking for information, and now Monyet's cleaned out most of A.
It's just gonna further solidify RRQ's read over the map.
Jit Boys in Garage looking to cut the rotations. It's just quiet from full sense as they finally make noise getting up onto C here.
They will get.
I go looking for Jemkin here. You can see they want to re-clear C Long.
Thinking about it. No more flashes available. Okay, it just came back up. Thanks to Kill Up. Checking it for now though, but oh, Jemkin quick on the peak, walks into the trip, and then more pressure to be applied. Xfero suddenly out from Garage. The grab net sent on top of Jemkin. Spike planted for C Long. They can still kind of play around it. For convergent paths now just to try to hamper RRQ's retake a bit further. Jemkin though still not down. In fact, chain broken. And he's looking to unleash himself all over the site. Just Primi left. One blade could do it, and he lands the flick. RRQ put themselves on top of full sense. It's 7-5 at the end of the first half.
I mean, that's what you think of when you look at this matchup. Jemkin v Primi in a one-on-one at the end of the round. Both of them put on a clinic with a 3K each. Jemkin stayed alive solo on that C side of the map for such a long time, and when full sense went looking for him, he hit every single shot on the operator yet again. Primi, on the other hand, playing close towards C spawn. He rips the convergent paths, which is what keeps him alive there. Crazy Guy TP'd while stunned, with Xfero looking to trade him out. And Jemkin able to come out ahead. Very, very reliable with that Blade Storm. As we move into the half, 7-5. First time it feels like RRQ are actually on top of things. It was a very, very nice recovery. They did start out 0-4, I think, again. Yeah. And from the last 8 rounds, 7-1. 350 ACS for Crazy Guy. I think losing Pearl yet again has lit a fire under him. Does not want to be missing out on a spot over at Ho Chi Minh. And I think when you're looking at, I believe it's only like the top 3 teams will be over there or something like that. It would only be the top 3 or 4.
Yeah.
I have to check my facts on that. But I think if you're losing to teams like Full Sense, T1, you've got some powerhouses over in the other group as well. For an RRQ, you know, they've struggled against some of the weaker teams thus far. They've already lost to T1. you need to be competitive here with Full Sense because the games are only going to get tougher as you head into the playoffs, and they want to make it sure that they can get Crazy Guy playing in front of that home crowd, man.
It's incredibly competitive here in Pacific, especially with the other group as well. Paper X, Global Esports later today, but KRX into the fold as well. So definitely needing to get that going. This was that quick win streak from RQ, past the timeout from the RQ cabinet as well. Jemkin getting activated alongside Crazy Guy with an Odin brought out, but let's see what Full Sense now have in store for us on the defense.
The retake set up on the C side of the map. As the cam does get dealt with and the trip gets dealt with by the shock dart. It's a easy entry into the site for an RRQ. Paranoia to follow up, and now Jip Boys is getting active, but he's dealt with early.
Shots whiffed as well. Full Sense just trying to circle around back. Not wanting to play around the smokes, instead it's everything onto Garage.
There's no more util here for Full Sense. Like, they've just got to win duels, and look at the crossfires that RRQ have established. I think Cruz has got to get some damage done here on the flank.
Otherwise, as soon as you step out, in fact, RQ might be pushing past the cage now. That's where Monette will be able to find a quick double. Off to the back end, just Cruz. A little bit slow onto it. Now position revealed off the Sheriff's shot. RRQ just in position, waiting for the swing. First one goes down. Weapon swapped over. So a bit more ammunition now. And Monette with the quick movement and footwork. Just to check and keep it safe. 2 HP still survives.
Yeah, 3 and 9 start in the opening half, and Monette's doubled his kills on the attacking pistol.
That's the first pistol that RQ has gotten today.
Yeah, taken them a while to find some success in that department. But their Haven looking very good here. Swapped up the comp coming into Full Sense, who pick Haven into them here. Choose to start out on the attacking side, and it's looking like it's working a treat for them.
Nice! Nice, good run, guys.
Sorry, on the defense, rather.
See if they can ride that wave.
No escape.
Grabner in towards A main to once again prioritize Cruz getting his annihilation. They were farming the orbs and the plants for him on defense as well.
Slight creep up as well, but checked by Jemkin on the Marshall close range.
Pretty slow anti-eco here for RRQ. Not wanting to give Full Sense any opportunities. Cam is deep in grass for Full Sense at least.
There was a cam for Cam as well. I think Xfero kind of noted it earlier before, so just to possibly overwhelm onto the C site. They give themselves extra coverage on the flank.
That's a cute high-low. Killua and Jit Boys with nothing but classics. Hey, not bad.
Yeah,
2 kills, you're happy with that, honestly. 2 for 2 with nothing brought into it.
So decent damage. We'll see as they go back towards just on the pistol.
Enemy remaining.
Fermi out from spawn, Cruz up from behind. At this point, possibly noted. The ping's already on the map.
You definitely want to go down or try to find Xfero or Crazy Guy here as Cruz. As I've said, they've kind of been prioritizing his annihilation so far this game.
Does have the net refreshed. Is there a way to kind of like bounce it off the wall over onto log? Probably not. Too far. That's just going to be RQ mopping up.
Yeah, nicely navigated. Cam spots him out. Cage pulled up. The safest possible setup really there for RRQ. Up to Full Sense to start to get going in the gun rounds. They are still playing that double senti comp, but you've seen a fair bit of that. They won themselves a 13-5 over Varel, I want to say. It's definitely one of the Japanese teams they played on this map.
Don't recon backside.
Might have been Zeta, might have been Varel, can't remember, but they got the majority of their work done on the defense. They didn't really have to play much of an attacking side. And they had some really nice setups on the defense. Like, honestly, it was a treat to watch them play the defense of this map. So let's not count them out just yet. But if they do lose Haven here to RRQ, I think that's the first map they've lost this entire stage. They've 2-0'd every game so far.
Definitely. But like you said, you know, let's see what this comp does. Definitely a lot of possibilities on the defensive side. For now, back over 2-3 split.
RRQ just waiting around in A main. Is their bonus round, but they've got a lot of rifles brought into it. They'd want to be winning this one. Contact play Out towards A long. Killua looking for information.
Scout destroyed.
And he will find it. Quick reaction with the paranoia though. RQ. Ooh, slow down by the Gravnet. And Cruz,
nice.
off a quick reaction, will be able to throw a wrench into RQ's plans.
Yeah, I mean, Gravnet first pick, dump the barrier mesh. Sorry, mate. You are not getting in here. And get the rotation back across from Full Sense. They're trying to stay one step ahead. Refract active as Premier looks for a pick, and he's found the right timing to do so. The information is already fantastic. 25 seconds here for RRQ.
The great migration from Full Sense all the way over onto C side. Fastlane kind of confirms it, but Manya tries to play around it. Now it's going to be Primi off to the angles, just being able to hold out around the choke point.
I mean, it's fantastic stuff from Full Sense there. Just shut down any hopes of RRQ kicking off that A execute. You can already see how tentative they are trying to attack into Cypher Deadlock. It's such an annoyance. Cage Gravnet goes up. Easy rotation with Primi looking for information in the perfect part of the round. Refract active walking out of garage. He finds them on the cross, and that means that Full Sense stay one step ahead. Another gun round up here for RRQ. Let's see what they're talking about.
Oh. Big. 1, 2. 1 B.
Hey, Cypher not playing here, guys.
The cam's on you guys. No. Okay,
Go,
keep walking, keep walking.
I break.
Go. Come on. Take garage. Dead.
Now, RRQ just breaking some utility. Trying to keep the rotations of Full Sense honest, and you do get a reaction from Primi, who has his Refract active. Just TP back away. Now RRQ making some moves back towards grass. Jemkin's been dropped off, which may indicate they want to end towards C at some point this round.
Which means it's very crucial for Full Sense to keep their formation intact. Ooh, B as well. Cruz with the early Gravnet. And the Annihilation instantly ripped. That's going to confirm positioning. They all spam through the smokes. Just to end up over onto Garage. Leviathan still managing to drag his crosshair on. Support by Primi. Just to fend off RRQ once again. The spike drops down. Jemkin all the way out from behind onto site. Despite the push-up. Not sure if he's actually going to be able to hold on. 2 players down, but not before Jit Boys comes in for the exchange.
That's what RRQ are going for there. A little bit of a poke towards C, trying to pull the rotation away from that B site, shove into the middle of the map, baits out the Annihilation, which works out well for them until they walk into this crossfire.